All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, it feels a little weird to talk right now. We're a little groggy. It's Monday, June 12th, okay? And we have the NBA Finals on tonight. Now, I'm the host here of the NBA show, and today's edition, I'm a little bit worried about my Wi-Fi. I'm back here home in Chicago, and there's so many things that I totally forgot about, but we do have some basketball stuff to talk about today. Uh, a bunch of stuff I ended up missing this weekend. Cyro hits me up late last night. He's like, "Yo, can you host the show tomorrow? I got work." Word for sure. By the way, these things really piss me off. Uh, they're just lights up there, but I can't go too. We could do this kind of. Got the whole shadow. Got a lot of stuff going on here. I miss this setup being back home, but not that much. But there was basketball news. I totally was oblivious to it all weekend, but the Raptors made a head coaching hire, and we did have game number 4 on Friday night, in which Denver Nuggets take a 3-1 lead. As we all know, Mr. LeBron Goat James is the only player, only team, 2016 Cavs, to ever come back down 3-1. So I think it's only a matter of time. And we have game 6 tonight. We're for game 5 tonight, which is a little bit weird that there wasn't any basketball on Saturday or Sunday, but we did have something on Friday. So let's just pull it up here. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that sub button for me. Hopefully Cyro can come pull up for a little bit. I talked to Nick this week, and I think he is probably awake, but maybe he's even watching it right now. What's up, Chris? But hopefully Nick and Luke can come through as well. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. And yeah, what's up, Thomas? I don't think it's going to be a solo show today. We do have some Raps news to talk about that I was just mentioning. I'll pull this up. It's basically like making these shows, man, is so weird. Sometimes Cyro I can send. Cyro should be joining relatively soon, but let's pull up the box score. The Nuggets are the NBA champions. I think it was Draymond Green. Oh, guys, by the way, let me know what the Wi-Fi. Let me know how my connection is, because what's up, Matt? How you doing, man? But basically, if you guys remember, if you watched our show like last summer, this is where I did my show all last summer before I ended up officially moving. And I had so many Wi-Fi issues that entire goddamn 3-month period. And I can see I only have 1 bar right now. And I know for a fact that if I were back in Florida with 1 bar right now, the show would be almost unwatchable. So, all right, Connect seems fine. So let's just hop right into it. The Denver Nuggets they're the better team here. They're making their shots. If Aaron Gordon's giving me 27 points, Aaron Gordon in general is your 4th best player. So Aaron Gordon being your 4th best player in general, you're a really good team. Right? You're a really good freaking team. And if your 4th best player is giving me 27 points on 11 of 15 shooting, 3 of 4 from downtown. He's also a phenomenal defensive talent, extremely versatile. He's extremely athletic. We know the deal with Aaron Gordon, right? So my 4th best player gives me 27. Sorry, Miami. I don't even know how you can win that game, but I'll give you a couple ways they could win the game. The opposing team's best player, one of the best offensive players of that generation, goes 23, 12, and 4. Only 8 and 19 from the field and only 4 assists. So that's Jokic. Another way they could win that game is if the other team's point guard, their 2nd best player, only has 15 points on 5 of 17 from the field. Okay. So both those things happen. So now what? All right, let's go to their 3rd offensive player, Michael Porter Jr. If he has, let's say, for argument purposes, has 11 points, right, and he shoots 4-10 from the field, 0-3 from downtown, that would help Miami win, right? Oh, it's weird. All 3 of those things happened. So then insert Aaron Gordon with 27 and insert Bruce Brown with 21. And then insert 14 turnovers from Miami. They couldn't hit a 3 once again. They shot 32% from downtown. And we add all of those up, and I guess it equates to a Nuggets 108-95 victory. I think I speak for a lot of people here. I wanted the Miami Heat to win that game so badly because, first off, you're in Miami, you need to win. That is a actual must-win game because, as we started the beginning of this show, it's only happened one time before, a 3-1 comeback in the NBA Finals. It's been once, and it was Mr. LeBron James in 2016 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I wanted a series. I wanted something. And unfortunately, Miami just couldn't get it done. It was, I thought, a very winnable game for all the reasons I just mentioned. Jokic was not that, offensively impressive. Same thing for Jamal Murray, wasn't offensively impressive. Michael Porter Jr., relatively quiet night from him. KCP hasn't had a game yet in the NBA Finals where he just completely goes off. What do you have, 7 points again the other night? Wouldn't be surprised if KCP tonight has 23 points and 5 threes, and it's the same exact game that we saw Friday night, and Denver's just like, yeah, man, we're the NBA champions. They know it. We know it. Everybody knows it. I think Jimmy Buckets even knows it at this point. Some ways that Miami can win outside of Denver before we talk about Denver and why this is impressive. Well, for Miami, Jimmy and Bam are going to do what they need to do. If we go to the Milwaukee series, was when Jimmy had, a 50-piece, a 40-piece, maybe what was even a couple of 40 pieces, 30 pieces. Like, what was Jimmy Butler in the first round of the playoffs against Milwaukee? What was the lowest point total he had? I think it was like 36. Having tonight on the road, which they've won. They won game 2. And the Miami Heat, by the way, they're shooting 32% from downtown in games that they lose. And they shot, 48.3, 48.2% in game 2 when they won. So if they're making their threes, that's going to help. But Jimmy Butler, I think Bam Adebayo's actually done a phenomenal job all series. But, we go to the last game. Bam had 20, 11, and 3. Okay, cool. Jimmy Butler, 25, 7, and 7, 9 of 17. That's not bad. 6 and 9 from the free throw line. That's not good. He's definitely banged up, but at the same time, he's out on the court, so you can't use that excuse in general, but especially because he's out there on the court playing 40-plus minutes. Those two things help. Usually, if your two best players are going to give you 50, that should be enough, especially like the last game where Jokic isn't doing anything crazy. Jamal Murray isn't doing anything crazy. In fact, statistically, they both have like slightly inefficient games compared to what we've expected from them. There's a couple of cats named Gabe Vincent, Max Strus. In the last game, they scored a combined 2 points. How many minutes did they play together? Almost 40 minutes. They shot just 1 of 10 from the field, 10% from the field, 0 of 7 from downtown. We got here Jalen Johnson. What's up? By the way, guys, hit that like button, hit that sub button. More importantly, if you hit that like button, really helps out the channel. It really helps get new people in here. Appreciate it so much. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers at some point in life. We're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers. Game 4 was a must-win in Miami, but the same thing that happened in Game 1 with Aaron Gordon taking advantage of the matchup he had. Jimmy and Bam are playing fine, but the Nuggets are just a better and deeper team. Caleb Martin, 11 points, Duncan Robinson, 12 points, Kyle Lowry, 13 off of the bench. Strus has crumbled so poorly in the playoffs, or in the NBA Finals, not in the playoffs. Literally the NBA Finals differently than the playoffs. Gabe Vincent, that's the thing with Gabe Vincent too, man, is, he's either going to give me like 20 points or like 2 or 4. So that also doesn't help. Kevin Love chipped in a couple of threes, but I still think they should go with Hayden Highsmith, just get him some more, Haywood Highsmith, just get him some minutes out there. Let's check his game log because he only played 1 that game. If we go back to game 1 against Denver, he played 23 minutes at 18 points. Obviously, that's not going to single-handedly win you the game, but get some fresh legs out there, man. Miami just looks slow. They just look tired. They look defeated, and you can see it. They're starting to get sloppy. They're not hitting their threes. They're not hitting their shots. Jimmy Butler is not as aggressive. Denver's done a great job of scheming against that as well, but you kind of got to try to dude, you're down 3-1. You need everything possible to go in your favor here. And there's just, to me, it's probably, I don't know the statistical odds of this happening, but it's probably somewhere between 0.01% and 1%. at the highest of them actually coming back down 3-1. Tonight, tonight to me doesn't necessarily feel. I'm not getting the vibe that the NBA Finals are about to end. I'm not really feeling that this is it. That this is it for Miami. We go to 2020 in the bubble playoffs. What happened? Well, kind of almost something very similar to this, but they did take them to 6. So, winning in 5 is impressive. I don't know, man. I just have a hard time believing Denver's not actually going to win this basketball game tonight. So I'm going to go with Denver. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami wins it. But I actually wouldn't even be surprised if Miami takes it to 7. Maybe they just get hot from downtown, start hitting close to 50% from downtown for that. But we'll wait and see. We still have no Cyro. All right, that's it for this segment. I'm going to talk about the Denver Nuggets and the postseason in just 1 second. Give me a handful of minutes. We're going to count down this loop. And Vegas or Florida. Well, I like Florida, but I mean, Vegas is going to win. So I'll be back in a couple minutes, play this thing on loop, and hopefully Cyro's here when I get back. God damn it.
Well, what are you doing?
Oh, hey there. What's up?
How bad does it sound?
Oh, it sounds really bad.
I'm in the car right now. Scale 1 to 10.
I can see or hear that. Probably like 2.5. 2.
Let me try something else.
I'm gonna go 2. These fucking lights up here piss me off so much.
Which is better, this or that?
I guess that one, yeah, for sure.
This is a bit better than it was.
Yeah.
This is now 4.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going to be briefly. I do want to do a preview for tonight's game. I will say, even my girlfriend agrees with this take. Miami wins tonight. Miami does not lose in 5. They take game 5. Kevin Love's daughter was just born, so he's going to be touching God. Kevin Love, father, is going to fucking go out there and have a game. And you know who's going to have a game who hasn't had a game yet? All playoffs. We had a Caleb Martin game. We've had a Kyle Lowry game. We've had a Kevin Love game. We've had a Bam Adebayo game. You know what player hasn't had a game yet that's going to come out there? He's actually shooting the worst. I think it's like 20% from 3 on wide open threes so far this playoffs.
We had the Max Strus play-in game.
Yeah,
that's Max Strus, right?
Yeah, so that's who's going to go off tonight. I believe Max Strus. Maybe he might not go off, but Max Strus will play a good factor in this game. And you know what's going to happen tonight? The Miami Heat will hit their threes, okay? That's what's been holding them back from winning another game in this series is hitting their threes. They're going to stop Jamal Murray because you know what? I love Jokic. And I think the Nuggets are going to win this finals, but I think tonight they're going to stop Jamal Murray. I also had like this weird nightmare where I woke up and I thought someone on the either Jamal Murray or Jokic is going to get hurt. And then the Heat.
Oh, shit. Well, that wouldn't be good. Jokic turned his ankle Friday night. So
I did. It wasn't. It looked like he just stepped on Strus's heel.
I know, but the joke was I was with my buddy Arjun, and the joke was if that was Anthony Davis, how long do you think he would be out? And we reached a consensus on 40 games. So yeah. But yeah, you're right. I mean, my prediction was Denver tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if Miami wins it just like they did in 2020. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they take it to 7. And like you said, they just start hitting their threes. Guys like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus score more than 2 points combined.
At least 2 of their losses, if they hit their threes, they either would have lost by like a point or they might have won those games where they just absolutely got outshot. But I mean, the big thing is being able to stop Jamal Murray. Okay, there's no way of stopping Jokic, but if you make it hard for Jokic in terms of creating for others because the others can't like score, then you have a chance. Honestly, I try to take out Jamal Murray, Christian Brown. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. hasn't been insane this season, but like, I just think
he's been bad. I'm gonna fix that for you. He's been bad. So maybe not bad. Maybe that's too aggressive. He hasn't done anything. How's that?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely. I just got a call, and then the call got hung up real quick. So I don't know what that was about.
You know who you remind me of right now was that guy's name that I can't even remember that we interviewed. And he was on the car. He was on the phone in his car.
Kevin Shodard, the Hawks writer. IBF him. So you're taking the Nuggets tonight, and I'm taking the Heat tonight. I believe the Heat will be able, to contain Jamal Murray. And
my issue with that is they did Jokic and Murray in game 4 were not good. Or they were neutralized. They didn't play good, and they were like neutralized to the best of the Heat's ability.
Honestly, for the Heat to win this, it's not even about them having a guy hit their shots. We need Jimmy Butler to go back to the first 2 rounds, Jimmy Butler, and actually take over and be dominant and score 40-plus points.
Yep. If he did that, that would help. That would help a lot. And then you just need I just need some chip-ins that Jimmy can do that. Boom. The Nuggets have done a great job though, limiting him, and he's also hurt.
I'm not saying that Jimmy's been bad, but Jimmy hasn't been dominant / taken over any of these games.
Yeah,
basically that's game 3 of the Celtics series.
Yeah, that's the thing is whatever Jimmy's averaging right now in the NBA Finals, it's probably close to like 24, 6 and 6, something like that. Every team would take that. Uh, it's just not. That's not Jimmy Butler's, as you said, first round specifically against Milwaukee, where he was just dropping 36 like it was extremely easy. It's not Jimmy Butler's standards to average 23 points in the playoffs. I need a little bit more from him. He goes hot and he goes cold, and it's happened honestly ever since he's been in Miami.
He disappears and just becomes like a facilitator.
He does. He gets a little less aggressive, and yeah, they start trapping him. They start double teaming him or whatever,
which isn't bad because he creates looks for the other guys. But when the other guys' shots aren't falling, we need you to stay aggressive. We can't have Bam Adebayo taking 20+ field goal attempts.
Yeah.
All right. I think there's not much to talk else on that game right there. That's kind of how I feel about that. I need Jimmy to play well. We need the guys to hit their shots. And I believe obviously contain Jamal and just contain the Nuggets. And honestly, I think the way to beat the Nuggets is don't let them shoot threes. I don't even know if that's the way. The Nuggets are clearly the more dominant team, so it's just hard to say. How do you get them to stop shooting threes? Well, they've done that, and they've beat them by scoring inside,
Yeah, the Nuggets aren't a crazy three-point shooting team, and they got one thing we talked about on the last show. The Heat out-rebounded the Nuggets by 3 in Game 4, and you know what? It honestly helped a lot. Jokic had only 24 points, only 4 assists, and
only.
Yeah, only. I mean, Jokic didn't play good. I mean, that's 24. 24 is not a good stat line for Jokic, it's like Jimmy. It's like 22 points is not good for Jimmy Butler. 24 is not good for Jokic because I need more. I just need more. So
no, I agree.
Unless they went like 6-7, they just won by 40 points. But anyways, that's tonight. And yeah, Game 5 Monday night. This feels so different than last year. I was thinking about I keep seeing so many people are like, I'll talk about this when you go because it's more of a rant, but like I have my hot on my TV. We did a video, I think it was halfway through the season. We did our hot takes. We made a bunch of hot takes and talked about it. One of them was Lakers to the playoffs because I remember at that time the Lakers were the 13th seed. They were so fucking bad. They were so bad. It was so bad. They were so bad. And then all of a sudden they make the playoffs, which by the way was in the play-in. And then you have all these people giving them and Golden State, like these are the teams who are going to win the NBA Finals. Lakers are going to win the NBA Finals. They have good odds. And it was crazy how a couple months ago they were the 13th seed on the way out. They were still a freaking playing team. And people are talking about the Nuggets, this being the most. This is what I heard. The Denver Nuggets, this finals win is the NBA Finals of the century. It's the most impressive finals win of the entire NBA of this century. I heard that. I'm like, they just swept the Lakers, which is very impressive. But the Lakers, like 2 months ago, were not supposed to make the playoffs. If I told you the Los Angeles Lakers were going to make the Western Conference Finals 2 months ago, you would have been like, you are a moron.
Oh, no, completely.
And now they're playing the Heat, who are the second ever team as the A seed in the NBA Finals. However, they were the 1 seed last year, and it's still a very good team. But I'm like, the finals win of the century. Like, what the hell? Like, that is crazy. Mike Malone is the 3rd longest tenured active head coach in the NBA. Like, this is a respectable team.
I was on the Denver Nuggets train for a while before anyone hopped on and everyone would make fun of me.
But that's the thing is, like, at this time or at last season, it was, okay, Denver's really good. They just lost in the playoffs because they first off had to play Steph Curry, the team that ends up winning.
Also, they've had injuries for 2 years.
And it was injuries,
1 year,
yeah.
Michael Porter Jr., the other was Jamal Murray.
I don't think Michael Porter Jr. is like that big of a loss, but I get what you're saying. I want Michael Porter Jr. to like come into his shoes because I know this could be a guy who drops 22 every single night easily, but it's just not there, man. But anyways, I kind of ranted about that already, but I'll talk about that a little bit later on.
We need to talk about something right here for our Atlanta Hawks fans.
All right, yeah, well, we have Kevin Schonard on live, so what's up, Kevin? Tell me about the Hawks.
So let's say that because we've done this show now for over a year, we were able to discuss and witness the full transition from Travis Schlenk to Landry Fields, Kyle Korver, and Hunter Ressler, Tony Ressler's son, the owner's son, being like the new front office. And their first move, which led to Travis Schlenk being ousted from the organization because Travis didn't want to give up all. He was cool trading for DeJounte, but not all that. What he felt like they overpaid, and that supposedly led to a huge falling out where he was like, "This is basically like this is me paraphrasing it in my own words." Travis was probably like, "This was a dumbass over fucking pay, like we gave up way too fucking much." And then that just led to him being like slowly like, being kicked out of the organization. Now he's with the Wizards. But DeJounte Murray's available for trade for the right price.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
I'm not saying the pairing went bad, but the owner, Tony Ressler's not a guy who likes paying luxury tax. And DeJounte Murray's on an expiring contract. DeJounte Murray, borderline. Is he a borderline All-NBA guy, you would say? He's been an All-NBA, right? Was he All-NBA 13?
He's close. I would not count DeJounte Murray as a top 15 player in the league, but I think he could have a year where he does that. He's only got one All-Star.
Top 30.
He's top 30. He's a great basketball player. I wouldn't, and he's healthy and he's reliable and he's a two-way player. I don't think he's a top 15 guy in the league. But
so basically, the reason why they're saying they're trading him, or willing to trade him, not saying that they are trading him, but he's looking at $30+ million a year. And Jalen, higher tier All-Star. I agree with that. Like Jackson said, can have an All-NBA season in the right system, in the right setting. I believe that. So right now, if they were to give him an extension, like in-house without hitting unrestricted free agency, I think it caps out at just under $26 million a year. With the rising salary cap and all that, he's looking at $30+ million a year. Now, I don't know if he gets traded this offseason because we know that they're trying to trade John Collins. There's rumors that they're trying to trade Clint Capella to free up Onyeka Okongwu and just, get cap space. DeAndre Hunter in the right deal they would do. And there's options out there. 1 second, there's a cop. And I really do believe that, like, there's guys out here that they can go and get themselves that they have pieces. But DeJounte Murray, I think he would be the type of guy they trade mid-season, and they trade him to a team mid-season, sort of like Jakob Poeltl, in terms of, like, a team trades for him knowing that they're going to re-sign him in free agency. And the other thing I want to say is another guy is that the reason why they're thinking about all these trades is they were given the green light by the owner to trade whoever they wanted. So that's why we've heard the Trae Young to LA maybe potentially one day.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, overpay or not, I mean, it is overpaid, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Like, we go back to last year, I guarantee all of us are saying that was at least an A- move by the Atlanta Hawks. It was something that they just had to do, kind of almost like the Kyrie situation. And now you look back at it in retrospect and you're like, oh, that was like really stupid. Like that didn't work. That wasn't worth it. But I would rather have Jaylen Brown than DeJounte Murray every single day of the week. As good of a point guard as DeJounte is. Trae Young didn't have a crazy season. They dealt with a coach coming in and out. I think their season in general is just a wash. So yeah, the Ian season trade makes sense, but given what they gave up to get DeJounte and how their season ended, it is very disappointing, especially because you made Eastern Conference Finals not too long ago. But
2 years
I don't
ago,
think
almost
Trae
3.
Young. I don't think Trae Young
I'm gonna go.
finishes in Atlanta. You're out of here.
Yeah, I am out of here. I apologize,
Right.
bro. I got work.
No worries. See it.
Last week, though, new time next week.
Oh yeah. I gotta say that. Yep.
Next week we're at 10 a.m. or 11 Eastern, I guess.
Yeah.
So good.
Right.
We'll be better. Peace.
So, yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. This is unsurprising, but you know, a DeJounte Trae Young duo is still so fascinating to me. I still think it's just so fascinating. But yeah, as Cyro was saying, there we are doing 11 a.m. next week, and or that's Eastern. I really like the early show in the sense of, like, for example, today I wake up and I'm like, I'm trying to like listen to basketball talk to start off the morning, and it's all, there's hockey, there's golf, there's football. If you watch like Sports Center in the morning, there's nobody really talking about it. I think just basketball. So I really like doing I think 9 a.m. Eastern is so perfect for me. The last two shows since I've been here in Chicago have been at 8, and it's so early, but I love the way it gets the day started. And I love being the first show to talk basketball. And then your whole day is cleared, and it's early enough, like an 8 a.m. is early enough where I can't be a piece of shit every night and go to bed at like 3 a.m. and hit the lick, hit the booze, hit the clubs, hit the bars. So, yeah, that's the point. Anyways, we have the Denver Nuggets on the screen here. I want to hear from you guys down below. If anybody's trying to type in live chat right now, does PJ Tucker, I was talking to this with my buddies on Friday, does PJ Tucker change anything if he was on the Miami Heat? So the Heat used to have PJ Tucker. Obviously, now he's on Philadelphia. Didn't have like a crazy statistical standpoint, as he shouldn't, because he's PJ Tucker on Philly. But we all know he's very important and versatile. Because the point is, in this specific series, I could have PJ Tucker, right? I'll go Bam on Jokic, but now I can have Jimmy on instead of Murray. I can have Jimmy on, or I can have PJ Tucker kind of go head to head with Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., whatever it is. Basically, there's more versatility. Whatever the specific, it depends, because Miami's going to make so many adjustments that they're not going to guard you the same way game one as they are two. But anyways, the point is, with PJ Tucker, Jimmy, and Bam out there on the floor at the same time, there's a lot more versatility, because if I have Aaron Gordon's a huge ass body, like he's fucking strong, dude. He's not 7'4", but he's a strong ass dude. But Jamal Murray's so good. I don't want Gabe Vincent or Max Strus ideally guarding Jamal Murray. But then if I have Jimmy Butler guarding one of them, well, now it's like, Kevin Love's not the best defender. I mean, Father Time's there. You can tell he doesn't have his legs anymore, right? He's just old. But it just would have provided him with a lot more versatility, I guess, is my point. I'm very curious what tonight's adjustments will be from the Miami Heat standpoint. And Denver as well, but Denver just not really. Miami back against the wall. You're down 3-1. You got to figure something out. Are we going to see Caleb Martin enter the starting lineup? Are we going to see some Highsmith minutes? Is Kyle Lowry going to join the starting lineup? Is the starting lineup going to be the exact same, or are they going to change up when guys come in? Who's guarding who? It's just going to be interesting. All right. So, all right, let's check the chat here. These fucking lights piss me off so much. It is unreal. Got the breakfast ball shirt here. Think about getting a haircut. I got hat hair right now, but think about getting a haircut. Think about shaving the beard. Just a little trim. But we have a new coach for the Toronto Raptors. And of course, I keep calling this dude Draco because of a personal joke. And of course, I look up Draco too. That is not who the new head coach of the Toronto Rap Show are. It is Darko Rajakovic, 44-year-old. And we now have a picture. Should have been doing this before. I like this hire. It caught everybody by surprise here. Let's hear what you have to say about this, Thomas, as our Raptor consultant, the biggest Raptor fan in the chat right now and in general. But anyways, new head coach, Darko Rajakovic. I thought a lot of people assumingly were thinking about Jokic just coming to Toronto. He's a Serbian head coach. What was it? Jordi Fernandez. We had JJ Redick was in there. I don't know if that was ever actually going to happen. I'm really glad it wasn't. You had Coach Sergio. You had Coach Kenny A. We talked about Kenny A. Who else was in the running? I think a lot of people thought they were going to go Jordi, Sergio, or Kenny. But now looking back at it, it's like Kenny Atkinson coming back into the league. No, not quite yet. All right, that makes sense. I really like this trade or this hire. I really like it. So real quick background on Darko's coaching career. He was a G League coach about a decade ago, actually now. So then he had stints on the staff of Oklahoma City Thunder. He was on Phoenix for a year. I believe it was only a year. And then he has been with the Memphis Grizzlies assistant coach for, not good at math, since 2020. However many years that is, 3, 4, something like that. Never, math's tough, man, right? Never been a head coach in the NBA. But what I think is interesting about this is you have, the Raptors are just in a weird standpoint right now. You have Siakam, is Freddie going to be the point guard next season? But then we also have young talent. We have Scotty Barnes. We have a winning enough roster, which we saw them acquire Jakob Poeltl. Okay. Well, so they missed the playoffs entirely. Jakob's a free agent. There's a bunch of guys who need to make decisions on. Gary, Freddie. Are they going to go rebuild? What are they going to do here? Do they have a bench? Well, that's why. Am I continuously voice crack? I lost my voice so badly this weekend, I guess. Anyways, development is something Nick Nurse, I feel personally, like since Kawhi Leonard was in town. When you win a championship, man, I don't care if Kawhi Leonard wins a championship and leaves. The expectations on you as a franchise are to win a championship and to continuously win championships now. So it puts Nick Nurse in a weird stance where I think Nick Nurse can totally develop players. We've seen Nick Nurse develop players forever. But things change and priorities change. So there's no point in developing, the 14th, 15th guy on your roster if I'm a winning team anymore. Now it becomes more of like we need the right pieces around us. And over the years, we've seen the Raptors bench disintegrate. Now, I will say this. I think Darko's rapport across the league is, I'm going to assume, what do we know about the Toronto Raptors? They're a world-class franchise. The Toronto Raptors are a world-class franchise. We heard it with Justin Champagnie. We've heard so many people come out of college and be like former Raptors players be like, yeah, I got drafted by the Raptors, or they brought me in to sign with their team, undrafted free agent, whatever it is. And I knew that everybody wants to play for Toronto because they do such a good job at developing players. Well, so with Nick Nurse, after a championship, it becomes, shit, my bench is kind of disintegrating, but I need to keep winning championships. So Freddie, 42 minutes. Siakam, 43 minutes. New addition, Scotty Barnes, 44 minutes. All these guys are playing so much. I don't think they're going full rebuild here. I think this is going to be a quick tweak. I think he's a great developer of players. Like somebody said Malachi Flynn here. I want to picture this real quick. Something I forget about all the time, in 2020, college basketball and majority of college sports, because of COVID, they shut it down. There was no – Malachi Flynn was on San Diego State, right? So Malachi Flynn goes to Washington State and plays 2 seasons there. He's a solid freshman year. Then he goes into his sophomore campaign and kind of breaks away. So he transfers, he enters the transfer portal, misses a season because of the transfer portal at that time, and lands up at San Diego State. San Diego State in 2020 goes 30-2. They go 30-2. March Madness was canceled. So I'm Malachi Flynn. I've been in college for several seasons. I've played 3 full seasons in college. I've been at 2 different schools. I missed a whole year because of the transfer portal, and I just went 30-2. And March Madness is canceled. Can you imagine how that feels? Anyways, Malachi Flynn is a prime example of talent that they had that Malachi Flynn, 40 to 60 games played a year. He's going to catch some DNPs. We saw him at the end of his rookie season start the last, 10 to 12 games. Did a phenomenal job. Averages mid 15 points, 7 assists. They draft Delano Banton. Basically, the development from Toronto has just it's become almost non-existent. And you could also say, you could say Masai isn't giving him, Nick Nurse, the proper pieces to develop. But then, it's like, well, we need to win championships, not develop my bench player, my, 12th guy in my rotation, Delano Banton. I already have one backup point guard, and his name's Malachi Flynn. There's so much that goes into like Masai, obviously you're tied up money-wise, but clearly the Toronto Raptors thought something of Malachi Flynn to have him for 3 years and then also draft Delano Banton. They're seeing something in these practices where it's like a roster's fine. Anyways, I think having a guy like Darko now on the Toronto Raptors, I think it changes their future franchise. Because what did we see with Memphis in the last couple of seasons? Well, Memphis still has a good offense. Memphis has maybe not a great, mastermind, one of the best offenses of ever. Let's go on StatViews and look up what the Grizzlies' offense was this past year. I'm going to guess it was at least worst top 12. It was 15. All right, so never mind. That is pretty middle of the pack. Let's go. Last season, 56 wins. They had the 5th best offense. We go to 2020 in his first year. They had the 15th best offense. There's top 5 in there. Anyways, I think Darko's the man for the job. I wasn't anticipating it, but I do think he is good. And I think he's been in the NBA, he's been in the association for so long now that you've built these connections, you build these relationships. He's going to come in, he's going to bring his guys on, right? Bunch of open coaching spots on Toronto. He's going to bring in his coaching staff. They're going to set it up. But it is weird because Toronto's in a standpoint where there's young talent on this team, guys like Scotty Barnes. Nick Nurse's offense at a lot of times was very confusing. Didn't seem like there was some consistency there. I think for Scotty Barnes specifically, this is a good move. I don't think Toronto's going to blow it up. I think they're trying to do a little bit of both here because the draft is the money, man. That's how Toronto was kind of built their franchise recently. Okay. If we if that happens again, that's gonna be it. But personally, I'm not necessarily done talking basketball. Okay, I have plenty of takes here. I said it at the beginning of the stream. The Wi-Fi here is not the best, specifically in this basement for some weird reason. Look at these motherfucking lights. All right. Maybe I don't have anything else to talk about. Let's open the forum up. There's 2 people in here. Let's hear what the word is. Oh man, this Wi-Fi is just not looking good, is it? Screen sharing was canceled. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's just it. That's just it here. Before, obviously, we have to play Pirtle. Ask a question down below. What is that website where it goes? What a breath, jeez. Walked like 30,000 steps 2 days ago. There's like at least 25,000, and I cannot feel my calves at all. Fuck, man, what is that website called? Cyro loves it. There's only one person in here. We'll whip up Pirtle, and hopefully I'll think of it if some people pull up. How you doing though, Karam? Appreciate you pulling up to the party. Look at those ears. Who's this? Looks like DeMarcus Cousins. That right ear, a little bit different, similar than the left ear, but the indent. Look at those ears, man. Who the hell is this? I'm gonna actually go Duncan Robinson. Let's see what we got. He is in the East. He's a forward. He's taller than 6'7". And doing these is always difficult. He's taller than 6'7". He's taller than 6'7", and he's not in the Southeast, which would make this player. I know the answer is not Patrick Williams, but here we go. A former Chicago Bull in the Central, older than 21. Older than 29. Oh, we got a possible old head here. We have a former Bull, which makes this even worse if I can't narrow it down as the guesses go by. A former Bull. I need more hints than that. Who are former Bulls still currently in the NBA? That could be anybody. He's in the Central. Oh, he's in the Central. All right. Ooh, good. Brooke Lopez never played for the Bulls. Let's go Bobby Portis, but Bobby Portis can't be older than 29. Right? There's no way Bobby Portis is older than 29. But we have a little bit of room. Milwaukee. And he's only 28. Fuck. He's listed as a forward. I guess that makes sense because it's not specific. Okay. So that didn't help me at all. Okay. So Pistons and the Cavs. Do you think he's on the Pistons or Cavs? Why can I not think of the other team in the Central? Oh, man, the longer these go on, the worse it is. Where's my boy Chris? I need my boy Chris. A former Bull. What's the other fucking team in the Central, man? There's no way. Whenever I remember, I'm gonna be so pissed off. You have the Bucks, you have the Bulls, you have the Pistons, you have the Cavs, Pacers. Fucking cock. Is this a Pacer? Who's a former Bull on the Pacers? Who's over 31 or 29? Right? He just can't be he can't be on the Pacers. It can't. I cannot fathom this being a Pacer. All right, so Pistons. Is he point guard? Have we guessed a point guard? Not a single point guard guess. Oh, it was over 6'7". Fucking cocksuckers, man. I hate. Oh, thank God we have Thomas here. Oh, and Chris is here. Okay, I'm glad no one else knows this. Malachi Flynn. Oh, he's in the Central. Oh, that was nobody even said that. But he's tall because he's over 6'7", but he's smaller than. Does this mean he could still possibly? He can't be on the Bulls, so it has to be a. Oh, is it Robin Lopez? No, because Robin Lopez doesn't fucking look like this. Unless he buzzed it off. Did Robin Lopez buzz it off? I don't think he did. He's not a center. He's not a forward, but he's over 6'7". What the fuck is he? He used to play for the Rockets. It's Daniel Tice. That's great, Chris. That is excellent work. I totally forgot. Daniel Tice joined the Indiana Pacers. Let's look up Daniel Tice's year. The German basketball player would be great on a championship team. He played 7 games this year for Indiana. 7 points, 3 rebounds. Yeah, all right. Daniel Tice, man. Great work. When was Daniel Tice on the Bulls? Oh, he did. That is not even that long ago, but that is crazy. 2020, 2021. That was not a good year for my Bulls. 31 and 41. Was that AK's first year? We had Alfred Aminu on the Bulls. I don't even remember that. Laurie was still on the Bulls. Denzel Valentine. Thaddeus Young. I remember Thaddy on the Chandler Hutchinson, that motherfucker. Daniel Gafford. I'm surprised this team won 31 games. Otto Porter Jr. All right. I have somewhere I need to be in a little bit about an hour. So I'm going to cash out. I'm going to cash out. Unless anybody has anything. I like when no one's on the show because I like talking about random things. I used to do all these live streams, as my boy Thomas remembers. I missed streaming the games. One thing I was thinking about late last night was, I can't. It must be so difficult for some of these announcers, like the TNT guys. Obviously, it's NBA Finals, so that's dumb. But like the TNT guys being up till midnight talking basketball is difficult as all hell. 1 year ago, I used to make videos till I would do my live stream 7 to 10, then just make videos till 1 a.m. Which is crazy. Where do you get that energy? But imagine then you double my age, and it's especially now, where's the energy? So that's it. We will be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. with hopefully a bigger cast. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button so we can get this video out to more people as we try and hit 2,000 subscribers. That is it for me. And have a beautiful rest of your day. It looks like it's a beautiful sunny day over here. And yeah. Cheers. Ciao.